Number one Cochran Sports Showdown is brought to you by Number One Cochran, Go One Better, and by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Have a greater hand in your health. Welcome back. Bud Dupree signed his franchise tag. The team and Dupree have until Wednesday to come up with a multi-year agreement. Kevin Colbert says he wants to do that. However, since he signed, Bud Dupree has decided to file a grievance. He wants to be paid as a defensive end, not an edge rusher. But if you look at how the Steelers do things in the 3-4, edge rushers are there because they also drop back into coverage and they can rush the passer. So does he win this or not?
I don't think he wins, but I don't blame him for trying to get as much money as he can. You look at stats and that he is, quote, what, an edge rusher. So where does that put him? On the Steelers defense, he's an outside linebacker.
There's a franchise tag for defensive end, and there's one for linebacker.
Yeah, and it's a $2 million difference.
Right.
I get that. So
he's a linebacker.
He's a linebacker in the Steelers defense. He might be a defensive end in some other defense, but I don't blame him. And here's the other thing. There's no way they're going to get a long-term deal with him. They're going to pay him the 1 year, whatever it is, and then they're going to move on from him.
But he is a linebacker, and he's signed as a linebacker, which means he's a linebacker, right? That's the way I look at it.
But he's trying to make the argument that he plays down a lot, and I think the percentages that he is.
Well, I'm going to make the argument that he had 11.5 sacks last year because T.J. Watt was on the other side of him. So he should probably just thank his lucky stars that he's got $15 million coming his way, because before last year, Bob, if he didn't have that season, I'm not even sure he's on the Steelers right now. And who knows what his contract would have looked like for 2020.
All right, real quick, I want to ask you guys about best tandems. Now, last year, the combination of Dupree along with T.J. Watt had 26 combined sacks, both in double digits. That's 1.5 off of Harrison Woodley back in 2008. Rich, do you think they surpassed that this year?
I don't know. I mean, can Dupree? I would be more worried about, can Dupree duplicate what he did last year? I think T.J. Watt will. But let's see what happens on the other side. But I don't see them surpassing it because they had such a great year last year. Everything kind of fell into place. But, you know, losing Bud Dupree is going to be a huge loss for this defense. There's no question about that.
Well, that's not going to happen for another year.
Yeah,
Richie.
I'm not going to happen for another year.
Shaking in my boots over it now. Isn't that why they drafted Alex Highsmith?
Well, I think they're going to have to draft another outside linebacker next year or address that.
Well, then what was the point of the Highsmith pick?
I don't know if he's the future. Do you think he's the future? Do you think he's going to step right in and replace Bud Dupree?
I think it's easy for a third-round pick playing on the other side of T.J. Watt, just like it's nice playing next to Aaron Donald in a defense.
All right. On that note, we'll find out. But for this year, this defense returns just about everyone, including Bud Dupree. Whether or not he's a defensive end or a linebacker, pay-wise, he is going to be an edge rusher again opposite T.J. Watt. We'll be back with more right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.